Hello and welcome back to my cake kitchen. I am Gladys, and over here I make simple, informative tutorials to help you navigate cake decorating easily. Today we're continuing our series on how to make a football cake, which we started yesterday. And yesterday I spent the entire time trying to give you useful information to help you sort of plan and also have an idea about what could go wrong about a football cake. A rather simple cake to make, but there's maths involved, and yeah, I've been looking up some which I'll be giving you today. So yesterday essentially we filled the cake, and then much of it was giving you that information, and then we did a catch up. It was lovely. We talked about everything. We talked about pop culture. There was Meghan Markle and her new show on the table. There was updates on Blake Lively, and then there was a subject about food, what we like to eat, what we perceive as why will I not eat that? That will be Pt2. So if you just see me for the first time, hello there, welcome, great to have you. Join the family, be a part of us here. We are friends, okay? We are friends first. We interact in the chat. We catch up with each other. We express our views and opinions. We have our own strong-willed values that we stick to. But otherwise, our arms are open to welcoming you, but more than anything, providing you value on cake decorating and baking, and also a little bit of entertainment to keep you going. It's lunchtime right here in the UK. I am stood in my UK-based home kitchen where I bake for clients and individuals, plus teaching about cakes alike. But wherever you're joining me from, leave an emoji in the chat. Let's know where you're joining us from, whether you are 24 hours ahead, 8 hours ahead, what the time is and what you're doing. I know for a few people, like your lollipops and your Pt2 is probably just woke up. She's getting herself a coffee, and Lollipop is probably pottering around the house, sorting out lunch and prepping to go pick up the kids. These are not random people. These are people who are friends of the channel that I interact with a lot of the time, that have become acquaintances. So if I'm talking about them, you can be one of them too. There's Priya. Priya is back here. Priya, lovely. Welcome back today. And yeah, if you're just passing by, drop a like to the video. Great to have you. Good morning again. Good afternoon. Good evening. There's Priya saying hi. There is Pt2. Good morning. Okay. And then oh, it's nighttime at Priya's. Priya, where are you joining us from again? Sorry, the name, I could take a guess, but I don't want to get that wrong. And then Lollipop. Yes, Lollipop, I saw the message. You just caught up. Yesterday was a whole it was a whole show. Right, so back to the subject of the football cake. Yesterday we filled the cake and I left it in the sphere to set overnight. It's all set. I didn't do anything to it. Once we were done, I literally just put this in the fridge to set. So today we have to work quickly. The reason being, I don't want the buttercream to come to room temperature. So we will have to work quickly, and I'll get to the job, get it done, and then we'll be back making time to chat properly. That said, I have summarized some of what we discussed yesterday in a community post earlier, which is up. I think in the next couple of days, as the tutorials develop, I will go back and explain more of what I am saying in highlight so that you can get some more information. I did promise to put up photos of the cakes that I've made in the past, the football cakes that went wrong. Those photos are in my archive. I have to go and dig them out. So I will, and I'll post some of those for you to see and feel inspired. But whilst talking about football cakes, it seems like a rather simple cake to make. And from yesterday, from the information we gathered about what you need to know before even attempting a football cake, it may have appeared as if football cakes look simple but isn't simple? Well, knowing the information firsthand and prepping beforehand and understanding the maths involved in doing that means that it is simple. But if you didn't know the maths, you will think that it is difficult, and I learned the hard way. So let's gather a few fun facts about the maths surrounding the football cake, which is that a football cake, no matter the size, is made up of 12 pentagons and 20 hexagons. Did you know that? And by the way, if you didn't know the hexagon and pentagon, this one, is it a triangle with 5 sides? I don't know maths, okay? People, leave me alone, okay? So that's a pentagon, okay? 5 sides here. And then the hexagon has 6 sides. So there is the small version, and then there's the larger version. Or there's the medium version and there's the larger version, whatever you call it. So they're the same, except one is smaller than the other. You have the pentagon being the triangle with 5 sides, and the hexagon, the one with 6 sides. So for any football cake, is it a football cake? No, actually, let me take that back. Not a football cake. The idea is to represent a football cake. But for any football, the pattern is not random. We spoke about that yesterday, which is why I gave you the tips for yesterday. If you want to see it, go back and check yesterday's video and see the points I made there. So, turns out a football is made up of 12 pentagons and 20 hexagons. The hexagons, for each pentagon, there are 5 hexagons. So the pattern is put together in a manner where it forms the sphere. And for those of you who are the mathematicians, apparently the name for the pattern coming together is what you would call a truncated. It's a long name, my people. It's a long name, okay? I don't do maths. And English is not my first language, okay? So I will leave it in the description box, or I will post the name over there. But it's long. It's something that if I break down in my head, it sounds like, no, we are not about to do that. That should tell you that making a football cake is not easy, because you need to understand the pattern and what the name is, and then be able to determine what it will look like. So it works on a ratio of 12 to 20, which is 12 patterns of this hexagon, pentagon, and 20 caps of the hexagon. That is it. So if you wanted to scale it up or down, you have to work around the formula of L equals 0.2D, okay? Where L is the sides of the pentagon and hexagon, the sides, okay? And the 0.2D is the diameter. Now, for those of you who do maths over there, you have to come back and explain this to me, because there's a reason why I wanted to be a lawyer, okay? There's a reason why I wanted to read and be a lawyer or a journalist. The math formula, I will leave it to all you smart peoples, okay? So we'll leave it as that. But those are a few fun facts, besides the fact that I cannot call the name of the pattern. And I don't understand the maths. But that's a bit of some fun information to tell you, my people, that making a football cake can be fun and easy if you understand what you need to know before you do it. So we put that together yesterday. So yeah, it's been filled. Today we are just going to move along quickly and to cover it completely with ganache, just so that we can get a move on. This is a 6-inch sphere. Who is laughing at me in the chat? Priya, thank you. Priya is in the chat. Priya has a suggestion. She says I should do a real cake or cake video. You know, the viral videos where you're either checking for the cake real or not, that sort of thing. And she thinks I will go viral. Priya, lovely, okay? Lovely concept, lovely idea. I know. Going viral, will that be a thing? I don't know. You know, the part where the video goes viral is exciting. I'm not modest if I'm saying it's not something that excites me, okay? I'm not being modest. I think it comes from a place of recognizing that hard work takes time, and if you're in for the quick hits and the viral content strategy, you are inviting people who may not be really interested in what you do. They're just in for the little snippets of fun that you post out there. And I think at heart, I'm a teacher. I love cakes. I will talk about cakes forever. Shorts are fun, but as you can see, if you look at my shorts are not tailored for just like viral moments and fun. And I don't think I've actually been a viral content creator, sort of. And that's by intention. It's because I have to enjoy the process. I do this much of it by myself. I film, edit, create the concept, all of that, including the cakes that go out to customers. There's a lot in my day. I do this full time, okay? But with that said, I have to enjoy the process. So if I have to just create viral content for the idea of just inviting people, that will crush me and that will take away the fun from it. But yes, Priya, I appreciate the suggestion. Yes, occasionally when I can let the cake go, I might come to doing that. I might do the reel or cake and cut it, because it's a concept that is very popular, and I understand that. But first of all, I have to let the cake go, okay? I have to. But my heart is not in it to let it go. Look at the cake. I use scrap cake to make cake that I could discard, and now I'm hoarding different sorts of cake. Do you see the problem I have over here? So taking notice of that, and yeah, thank you for that suggestion. That said, let's go and get our cake covered. But if you're in the chat, there is about 18 of you already in. Then there's just about 6 likes. That's a third of the likes. Come on, people. That's the only thing I ask of you, okay? I come to entertain you, give you all the fun, and cannot pronounce words for you. Let's get on with it, okay? So yesterday, right, it's going to be important it is going to be important to keep the sphere steady. So because I am so lazy and I can't find my sphere thing, this is what I'm going to do. I'm just getting a what do you call it, that, so that I can put it in. And with that, I am peeling the plastic out and taking the cake out. Now, if I flipped this over, that will give me problems. So what I am going to do is get myself Tapeta keeps thinking this is an American football. It's soccer ball, okay? It's soccer. Whatever that is. I don't know what I'm saying. Ignore me, okay? We are making a soccer ball, right? If you don't know why this is happening here, you want to check on the previous video we did, okay? And right now, what I am going to do is get myself, right? Ignore the kettle over there that is boiling, right? The reason why I have I have ganache here, so I'm going to rub the ganache, cover the cake in ganache. I am covering the spheres as 2 spheres before putting them together. Yeah. First thing first, you want to make sure, as we discussed yesterday, you don't want a lot of buttercream on the cake or ganache, because then at room temperature it will deform. So I am just using enough to cover the cake. And by the way, can I make a suggestion? If you're making a sphere cake, probably do yourself a favor. Go for ganache, maybe chocolate ganache, because that will set solid for you. And it will reduce the gravity of the cake kind of collapsing on itself, if that sort of makes sense. It's important you take time to make the sphere perfect. I mean, this is one of the cakes where I sort of bang on about making things perfect. I mean, we are not aiming for perfection. We are still beginners, isn't it? So we are not completely aiming for perfection, but I tell you, take your time to get the sphere right. It will help you along the journey. All I am doing is that getting the ganache on the cake and taking bits of it. That's all. I'm not doing much over here. Look at me. And at each stage, you want to make sure the cake sets completely, because there's a lot of handling involved, but you also do not want to handle it too much that the cake deforms, the sphere, right? So the sphere, I mean. So there you go. There you go. Okay, that's one of the spheres done for now. There's not much to it, but we are getting it together. We'll come back and you'll see. So I'm going to put this to chill, and then we'll do the second sphere. You also want to make sure that your sphere is on a solid form, so when you move it, you don't kind of bend the edges. But here we are. That's chilling, and then we're going to do the next. Tapeta and Lollipop are talking about football, right? Okay, that's exciting times, isn't it? Football, football, football. Okay. All right. So this is the next sphere. I think because I learned that the first sphere was moving around, I am trying to get this so it doesn't move around at all. Okay. Just here. And is there something I missed? Is anybody asking a question? What do you want to Google after the live? Did I miss something? I mean, when I am busy doing a cake or something, it's hard to kind of keep up with the chat. Right, let's see. Did you say you lost Priya? Anyway, so the other sphere is back, and just as we did the first one, we're going to do exactly the same. Oh, football hooligans. Tap it. Okay, that's a lumpy ganache over there. Oh, football hooligans can be a bit problematic when, oh, look what's happening. Okay, we have a challenge I have to fix again. We have a problem I have to fix. You know, the cake, remember I filled part of this sphere with cake crumbs. The crumbs is kind of coming off. So when I rub the ganache, you can see the crumbs coming off at the edge. That is a little bit of a problem. Prawn cocktail, my lovely. Hiya. Great to have you back. Have you had your haggis? Look at me teasing you, prawn cocktail. Because I know you haven't managed to sort yourself jollof overnight, have you? Great to have you back. How are you today? Am I going crazy? Okay, I see what I'm looking for. Because I was like, where is the scraper? So we are back to covering the cake. Prawn cocktail. I'm trying to think how prawn cocktail got her name, prawn cocktail. I don't like prawn cocktail. It's cold. Can we have a warm? You know what? Anything, if it's not a drink and it's cold, I don't want it. Okay. Prawn cocktail. Do you like prawn cocktails that much to make it a name? Oh, look. Okay. You must really like prawn cocktails that much to make it your name. I know it's not your name, but I know. Lollipop and Tapeta talking about football hooliganism. It's funny. Lollipop, if you were supporting an English football team, what would it be? Like a team in the Premier League. What would that be? I think when we start talking football and the Premier League. Am I missing? Oh. Oh, it's a prawn cocktail. It's a bird. Oh. Okay, prawn cocktail. Clearly, you learn something every day, and I have. Thank you. Thank you for correcting that. Because I'm like, all I see is prawn cocktail. I haven't even seen it as the crocodile. It's not a crocodile, is it? Lollipop, thank you. Lollipop and is it the seagulls? Okay. Cocktail. All right. You learn something new every day. Oh, you see? See why I do not want to pronounce any word I don't know. Okay. Prawn cocktail. Look, I'm happy calling you prawn cocktail. Okay. people. Now we've got... Oh, okay. You have 3 birds. Ooh. Sis, you're having fun. First of all, you give the doggy black pudding and a haggis. And then you want jollof. And then now you have birds. You're a pet lover, are you? Well done, you. Prawn? What? I saw a prawn-colored alligator. I'm not running. I'm down flight. I have about 30 birds in total. Who are you, girl? And why do you have 30 birds? Are you the bird whisperer or something? Anyway, we're gonna go. Wow. You know what? You learn something every day about people. And that's really nice, isn't it? But 30 birds, I can almost imagine how much time it takes you to look after them. Anyway, the other sphere is done. So let's look at the first sphere. It's not set completely, but it's not in itself a bad thing. So now, if I wanted to put the spheres, I think I want to leave it to chill then. I want to leave both to chill. But if it sets completely, I'll be back to show you how to put them together and to cover it. One of the things you want to do with a football cake is that when you are prepping it, you don't want to prep it on your bare surface. As in, if I put this down on a cake, I will struggle to cover it. So I've covered it half and half, and I'm trying to see. Let's see. Let's have a look. Okay, are we in shot or we've moved? Let's see. Okay, so I've covered it half and half just so that I can put it together. And yes, so I think we are right. So I've covered it half and half. Let's leave it to chill completely, and then we can put it together. Now, whether we can do all of that now or later, I am not so sure, but it's great. Oh my goodness, I've just seen in the chat, there's 52 of you. Who are you peoples? I'm kidding. Right. If you're just stopping by, we still appreciate you. But if you're stopping with us, welcome, welcome, welcome. Come in, come in, come in. The door is open, all of you, okay? All of you get in, sit down. Leave us in the chat. Leave a wave in the chat. Let us know you are here with us, okay? Right, the cake is sort of half and half covered. I would be moving to the board, but I'm not. I just want to make time to catch up a little bit. So yeah, Lollipop, Cocktail, and Tabitha are in the chat talking about the birds that Prawn Cocktail has. And let's see if we can learn something new from our new friend Cocktail, who says she has 30 birds. So let's see. She has 30 birds in total. Oh, so Cocktail, did you say you had a bird sanctuary? Lollipop, wow. Should like to start a bird sanctuary. It'd be fun. Right. So what is it? Why birds? Why? Is it because you have an interest in birds? Is there a special reason for that? I'm just curious to know, Cocktail. Do you want to tell us about it, the birds? Tabitha saying when she was 2, she had a cockatiel. When I was 2, we had cockatiel birds, and then she went to pet the birdie, but the pet. Oh. Tabitha, your 2-year-old self was not so kind. prawn cocktail. You live on an island in Scotland? Hello, honey. Okay. What in the Prince of England or Princess of England person are you? Okay. I'm just taking the mickey out of you, but it's just nice to know people. Cocktail. I just like, I don't own an island, but you live on an island, do you? Okay, right. So, okay. Now, the cakes are all settled in the fridge. We'll come back and put those together. What I don't know is whether I'm going to be able to cover it completely, because we don't want to handle it whilst it is still before it's set. So I accept that this process is probably going to take a little longer than needed for the rest of the week, and I am completely up for it. So if you want to see the other part of the video where yesterday we put the cake together, go check it out. It's already up on the live before this one, so check that out, see all the information I gave, so that you can then know what to do before we got to the point we did today. Now, I didn't forget that Lollipop, is it? No, it wasn't Lollipop. It was Tarpita who was asking about, when we were talking about food yesterday, Tarpita was asking about palm nut soup. And she thought it was made with palm nuts. It was made with palm leaves. No, palm nut soup is not made with palm leaves. Palm nut soup is made from palm fruit, the fruit. If you've seen a palm nut, as in the nut, it's a red orangey looking fruit, right? And you have the palm nut in the middle. In fact, everything about a palm fruit is just useful, because you can take the pulp out of it and then leave the nut, and then you crush the nut. You can make oil out of it. It's a lot, but it's made from palm fruit. Boiling down the palm fruit, traditionally it is boiling down the palm fruit, pounding it up, and then sort of separating the fluid by mixing it in hot water. It is some special kind of soup that if you've never seen it, you don't know what it is. What I'm talking about will sound very gibberish, but you know what? If you go on Google and you Google how to make Ghanaian palm soup, you'll see the process. It's amazing. You can make it. It is very flavorful, I should say. If you've never eaten it before, like most things, you'll be like, what is that? But if you try it for the first time and it's adapted to your palate, I think you will never, ever, ever, ever go back to eating regular tomato soup, okay? And I have nothing against tomato soup. But yes, palm nut soup, peanut butter soup, and all of that. Those are delicacies and cuisines in Ghana that we enjoy. So the palm fruit itself has been adapted to recent times where you can buy it canned. It's okay. The traditional people kind of are about it. They will look down on you and be like, no. But you know what? Go buy your tin. I use tin palm soup. It's okay. It still makes great soup, and I still eat good food out of it. So yes, that is a bit about the palm nut soup. Tapita, I did promise I was going to tell you about it today. So that's a little bit about palm nuts. I need some palm nut soup posted. Darling, do you realize we're a cake channel? Cocktail. We're a cake channel, okay? We do talk about the food, and I'm like, you know what? At this point, if I had help, or if I could be invested in it as I should, I'll probably have a second channel where we do home and living, so then I can make the food recipes and all of that stuff. And even though they will be Ghanaian, much of them will not be authentically Ghanaian, because I've lived in the UK nearly 9 years. I said 9 years, 19 years now. So I have adapted my own palate and food preferences and different things. If I cook jollof rice, it may not be the typical Ghanaian's cup of tea anymore, because I cook it in a way where it is adapted to my son and his dad as well, even though they love jollof rice. Okay, so There are different ways I can bring the item of food, but I know I've touched on it on this channel. We talk about food on this channel, even though we're making cakes. Cakes is a source of food. It's a dessert, okay? But let us grow first. You do one thing, you succeed at it, then you move on to the other thing. I don't like feeling like I am an octopus with 8 hands everywhere. No, I don't have time anyway. So when I can, I'll be back to making the odd food recipe video when I can. But otherwise, let's just stick to cake making for now, okay? Well, cocktail, I think you're given, let's see. Tapita is asking if it's spicy. You can make it spicy and you can make it less spicy. I don't have it spicy because I have to leave room for my son and his dad. So no, I don't make it spicy. But yes, you can make it spicy. So palm soup is nowhere near to be found in grocery. No, you can't buy palm soup. You can buy the palm soup base. But you're in the middle of Oregon in some sort of community, rural community somewhere. Tabitha, when I think about you and all these food choices that I am suggesting, I'm like, why are you setting up a sister for a fall? Huh? Leave a sister alone. Okay. By the way, anybody gone and checked on Megan Sass? I'm kidding. Anybody gone and check on our sister Meghan Markle over there? Because it turns out she's on Drew Barrymore. Okay. Just checking because oh, tuxedo. Is it tuxedoed cat? I want to see that cat in a tuxedo. No, kidding. Okay, tuxedoed cat. Welcome here. Oh, wow. Tapita lives in a rural coast 20 minutes from the beach. Wow. And if she tried to go anywhere where she would need to go on a boat. Like, Tapita, I want your life. Okay? Tapita, do you have room? Okay, I'm living my life here. I'm going to the beach. I want to live 20 minutes from the beach. How do I feel about living by the sea? If there is a hurricane, though, I'm not wishing that for you people, okay? But I don't know. I like it and then I don't like it, okay? Anyway, that's just by the way. But yes, Tuxedo Cat is asking what kind of cake. We are trying to make a football cake. We have covered the spheres that are already in the fridge. We're leaving them to set, and then we're catching up a little bit before we can move on to making them. So, Tuxedoed Cat, people, can I make a simple request of you? We are headed to 7.5K, which is 7.5K, right? So, if you love cake as much as I do, and you enjoy my company as much as I do yours, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Get everybody in the chat. Let's get to, it's what? It's 7th of March, isn't it? Is it 6th of March? By the end of March, can we try and make it to 8K? Can we? Can we try? Okay? A sister actually needs the numbers, you know? I love you, even if we are just small numbers here. But I know YouTube is a numbers game, and I can't pretend I'm not here for the numbers, okay? So let's get to 8K and continue having fun. There are more things in stock for us. We're still talking about the Mother's Day bake. We haven't decided on it's happening. Whatever happens, Mother's Day, I'll still be here. We'll be baking a cake. But what I'm trying to do is organize a sort of bake along, sort of. So it's a decision on whether we just want to consider a practical bake, where I will come and tutor you on a perfect baking session, and then with beginner friendly frosting for you to go and enjoy for Mother's Day. Or we can up the ante and have it into a decoration class. Now, there's also the sort of suggestion of whether we can make it, I can create a general live, and for you who is home, if you want to join in, you start doing what you need to do at home, and then I will get to, you can interact. So we're baking along. So you're doing it on that day, you'll be baking or you'll be decorating, and I will be here. But I'm also thinking, if we undertook it as a decoration, it's going to be hard because I can't see you to instruct you. So we might as well make it a bake session instead of a decorating session. So that conversation is still ongoing. And at this point in time, I don't think I have gotten anyone who has clicked on the link in the description box to tell me they're interested. So I am just hoping that we can get this right probably by the end of the weekend, so I can make a decision on how we are going to run this. But whatever happens, Mother's Day, I'll still be here. I just wanted to use that as an opportunity to give back, to help you practically get to achieving one of your baking goals, whether you want to bake a simple recipe, make a simple frosting recipe, or just try and decorate something. But you know what? We are here to stay. So even if we don't do all of that on this Mother's Day, there will be a time in the future that we can do that. There's so many things I plan to do. Sometimes it's like, it's because it's just me, it's hard to kind of like get all of that running. So stick around, support us, be our friend, love us, we love you, and then we will see. Okay, let's see. There's a lot happening in the chat. Let me just catch up a little bit. Lollipop, I can confirm I'm not having fun living on the beach. I don't like the feeling of sand at all. Lollipop, you know what? You don't like the feeling of sand at all. Why is that, Lollipop? Right? Let's see. Living by this Tabitha. Okay, so yeah, well, Cocktail, I like the warmth. Here the beach experience is always nippy, and the one day there is sun, it's packed. Cocktail, I need to go for lunch with you because you're my spirit person. I think you know me even before I can tell you who I am. Yes. Okay, exactly those words in there. It's very nippy in here. The weather is not great all the time. Like if you think about the beach, you think about the sun. Probably because I'm Ghanaian from a coastal town. I grew up in a coastal town, one of the suburbs of Accra, right? And you think it's not the same, Glad. It's not the same. Why? I'm talking to my... Okay. So living on the beach, you think it's sun, it's fun. It's not the same here. Over here, it's cold. It's forever cold. Look, we went to Sandbanks Beach in Bournemouth Pool area sometime in the summer last year. And it was supposed to be summer, my people. And all through, like when we looked at the weather forecast when we booked this was a church event. So it was the entire church. We had 2 coaches, comfy to make the travel. It rained from that 9 a.m. from my West Midlands town all the way to Sandbanks Beach. And we're talking a 3-hour drive. And we're not talking like heavy rain where you're like, okay, you knew the rain was coming. What were you doing? You're talking showers here, showers there. We literally got there and then it was pouring down. 3 hours drive, not to do anything, just make a quick turn around. And it was cold. Okay. The first time, that was the second time. The first time we went, it was sunny, but everywhere was packed. Everywhere was packed. It's like, this is not fun. I can't even find a place to sit and eat my ice cream. So no, I like, look, if I had money, I'd be living in a nice country house somewhere in the middle of nowhere, a 3-bedroom detached house with a little plot of land over there, nice view of the countryside. I don't even care what it is, as long as cars are not like coming back and forth and disturbing my peace. I want a nice countryside view of, say, the wheat or sunflower, whatever that is, okay, in the middle of nowhere, okay, where I can shop, go out. Like the shopping center is probably 15 minutes drive, and I can go do the shopping for a whole month, come and stuff it, and just eat and sleep, make cakes, and yeah, mind my business. I'm very simple. Wow. Look, I don't even want to talk about the size of houses because I beg to differ. I know Americans do things by size. The bigger, the better. Your burgers are bigger, your roads are bigger. Yes. But those people who think like English houses are cupboards, you are showing your tax brackets. Okay? You're showing your tax bracket. You are showing your tax brackets. Because honestly, if your tax bracket is of a certain status, I have seen some houses and I didn't see them on the TV. I used to have a job that made me go to people's houses. And I've seen some houses that made me question which part of England I landed, okay? Okay, just saying. So, but then again, I will say the sort of money that you will have to get that house in the UK that is so big, it is nothing compared to the American equivalent. So, Tapita, I give it to you. You guys will always win, okay? All right. You know what? We're talking houses, kitchen, but then yeah. When I've seen some of your American influencers, oh, your kitchens, I have house envy. Okay, but let's go check on the cake. We are sort of there, but not there. Look, we are here. Okay, at least we've got the crumb coat sorted. Now let's move on to the next thing. What I'm trying to do now is to set the cake back in the tin, just so that we can put both cakes together. So this is what we're going to do. Tapita, Cocktail out here finding out about how Oregon is not like very popular because you had a cult leader. Tapita, you're not in a cult, are you? I'm kidding. Right, there you go. Okay, we're putting the cake right back in the tin, just so that we don't have to handle it. And then the cling film makes it easier for us to get it out when we need to, okay? Who thought making a football cake was going to be this difficult? Everything I am doing here is just to show you the direct process to making a football cake that is hassle-free. It's little bits of things you have to do to get things right, but once you commit to doing it, you should be all right. Now we are having the other sphere now going onto this here, and our sphere is almost done. So that with that done, what I am going to do is seal the sphere now. I think as I'm stood here, can I tell you what is in my head? They're not like us. Why is that song playing in my head? Why? That song has never felt the same to me since the Super Bowl, though. Okay, let's see. Have we lost prayer? Okay. There you go. Okay, now this is where forming the sphere comes into play, because this is where we are now trying to mold the football cake, right? So it's a lot of like small little things to get it right, but when you do, you'll be so pleased you did. Because see why I can't put this directly on here. So I could either keep it on the bowl or I can keep it. I think putting it back on the bowl will help. You really don't need a big bowl. A small bowl, that something that will sit in. And plus the spheres do come with a container that you can put them on. I've misplaced mine, I should say. That's why. Let me wash my hands. And in the meantime, boil the kettle and then get my and don't be afraid to use your hands on this part of the decoration process. Okay, don't be afraid to use your hands at all. Right, you want to be careful with the hot water because the hot water could bend your scraper. But look, we are getting there a bit at a time. Right, so see what I mean by, look, if you set the football cake down, see what you get. But we have managed to make it a little solid, so let's see what we can get out of this. You want to make sure that at this point you are handling the cake less and less because you don't want to deform it. So get it seated like this. Our football, does it look like our football is coming along? Because remember, how the football presents now is how it is going to show when you put it down. So you want to be very mindful of that. So I'm gonna, because at this point we're just trying to fill some of the gaps just to get it perfectly sphere. Okay, you want to make sure that you don't have any okay. Does it look like a sphere, people? Because when I'm here, I don't see it as you would on camera. So what do you think? Are we looking at a sphere? And which part of it needs polishing more? Yeah, it looks like a planet. Yep. Don't worry. It's a football cake nonetheless. I think the only difference between the football and the planet right now is because it hasn't got the hexagon patterns. But yes, I see when I look at it, there is a ring around it, and because of the way it is placed, it looks as though it's a planet that is spinning. I see what you mean. But by not making the cake heavy, can you see that we are still able to see the bottom of the cake? As in, yes, cocktail. Yes, it's possible to make a Saturn. Yeah, any sphere cake, anything that uses a sphere. Yes, you could do. Because when we finish the football cake, depending on what result we get out of it, I am going to have to reset the cake, and then we will make a teapot from it. But that is a little bit over ambitious, I think. I don't know yet. But yes, that's Tabitha's mom chose that. Okay. So this is going to require a lot of polishing. Mind you, there is a scraper for sphere if you want. Okay. Lollipop living by the beach is my goal, okay? Even though I don't like the beach. I want to be there for a day or two, and I'll be like, okay girl, goodbye. I'm going back to the Midlands. I don't want the sea. I don't want the cold. I want to live in a warm house, okay? Okay. Look at you guys having fun at my expense. And I'm doing all the work. I'm going to tell my mom that my people are being mean to me. Why? No. I'm kidding. Have fun, people. People, do you think we've gotten ourselves a sphere? If this was covered in as a football, would it look like a football? Or I don't know. I told you the football cake seems easy, but it's not easy. Tapeta, I'm having to remind myself that yes, it's soccer, not football. Okay, darling. Okay, so all right, Tapeta, so right. Okay, so there we are. Tapeta, I am living for you right now, honey. Okay. See why I said do whatever you do, do not carve the cake. Do not carve it. You will never be able to get a perfectly round shape. And even with all the effort we've gone through, it is looking round, but I wish it was, I don't know. Do we have a football? Okay. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to fill some bits here with my finger, just so that I can get them spots like all done, because I don't want dips on the cake, right? So right. For those of you who do not like people working with their hands, look away now. Okay. I know I can use some tools, but your hands, especially for molding and for filling things, your hands are your best friend, okay? And plus, this cake is for nobody, so. Right, so we filled the sides of the cake a little bit. Baby little okay. 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 What do you think? Are we getting a sphere? Or it still looks like a planet? Well, a planet is a sphere, isn't it? F is a sphere, isn't it? But do you think it's round enough? Can you see what I was saying yesterday about the fact that with a football cake, you will always have gravity working against you? Perfect demonstration is, if you look under the cake, you can see it is squishing. And if you wanted to prevent that, you could use, you could build the cake over a structure that takes on the weight, but that will not be beginner friendly. So we are just going to have to accept the cake crashing down on us, okay? Which is why we have to work quickly, because the crushing of the cake is not going to get better, and it actually will be worse if we were using buttercream, because you know buttercream doesn't set hard, and then when the weight comes on it, it sets and it will create problems. But yes, that is the sphere. I am not mad about it. Right, people, class assemble. Class assemble. Let's talk about cakes a little bit, and then we can go back to having a chat, people. Right, so what do you think about our sphere? Right, I am missing a lot out of the chat. Do I have FOMO or like? Okay, so there we are. Lollipop, you always make me feel better about myself. You said it's perfect. Lollipop says the sphere is perfect. What do all of you think? Look at me. I've gone shifting the bagger. Oh. Okay, so the part where the cake is doing its crushing underneath is part of the process. So problem number one, if you're making a football cake, this is one of the things you will deal with. So I'm telling you now, if the cake is crushing underneath, it's okay. You will handle it, okay? Okay, I'm going to see if I can try and cover it a little bit. Yeah. Oh, our Korean friend just joined us. Thank you, darling. You know what? I can't pronounce your name surely because it's spelled in Korean, but thank you. You know what? For those of you who just show up to tell us how much you enjoy the videos, thank you. Because you know what? Sometimes I don't know how I'm doing. Look, I don't live in that space where it's like I seek the validation. But believe me when I say it also helps and kind of keeps me going, because I don't feel this way every day, you know. I don't feel like I want to come and have fun all the time. Half of the time I have to go and say a prayer. I have to take a walk in the park. I have to dance myself into a happy place to show up here, people. Okay? I am not this do-gooder person who is constantly like, let's go and run a channel. But you know what? I am also happy. I have a job. And the people in the job I like, which is that I like you people. And I like hanging out with you guys. So it's a blessing for me. But thank you for those of you who make it a point to come and tell us. There you go. Okay, so I think we've got a perfectly round sphere. It's not perfect, I'll say. We've got ourselves close to a sphere, so I don't want to ruin it. What do you think? We've got a sphere. I'm going to wipe the worktop and I'm going to leave it like that. Because I don't want to be playing with this too much. Because if I do that, I might just ruin things. What is it that keeps going on my table? Okay, there you go. Okay. Okay, there you go. Okay, we have a sphere. What do you think? If we put this together as a football, will we be getting? Yes, Pt2, the red shows through. Right? I will not bother with the red showing through, but don't be like me. Use the same color of buttercream. But of course, we are going to cover this in fondant. So the red showing through doesn't really matter. But it also goes to show, don't overfill. Remember when I said don't overfill the cake? If you overfill it, that's what happens. It will crash and come out. If I wanted to fix the red, I will cut this corner out and then fill it out. But because the cake is going to be covered in fondant, I am not really particularly concerned about the red showing up. But the red showing up there can be a whole host of problems if not taken care of properly. In that, say, if your buttercream is not solid, at this point it will be beginning to come to room temperature and can break through and then cause shifts and problems with your cake. Because I am using ganache, that problem is partly fixed for me. And I'm going to have to leave this cake to chill completely. And I mean completely. Before I do anything else. So we're going to be all right. But can you tell I'm already terrified? I am terrified. Because them hexagons and pentagon parts is not easy, you know. But for today, this is what we are doing. God, me and my clumsy self. For today, this is what we are doing for our football cake. We have covered it in ganache. We have polished it. Can you see what I am still saying? Because can you see that it's sort of the bottom? I want it to be perfectly set, but it isn't because the weight is pushing down on it. But it's okay. When you make a football cake and you do it this way, this is going to be a problem that you will notice. But as long as you keep at it, eventually, if you build the cake on a structure, it will solve that problem for you. But yeah, it's okay. I am not mad about it. Yeah, there you go. Okay, our sphere is done. Now let's put that in the cake, in the fridge. 49 people. There you go. What do you think about our sphere? Do you think you can be able to achieve this if you're a beginner starting with this cake? Okay? And if you didn't know what we're making, we're not making a planet. We're trying to make a football cake. Right, so I'm going to leave this to set completely. And then tomorrow, we'll be back to covering the cake. That's what we're doing tomorrow. So it's been a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We're doing a Friday, and who knows? We might end up having a Saturday session. I don't know. But anyway, Jana, thank you. Jana, it's a football cake, but we've just finished the sphere. So we're going to put that in the fridge to set completely. And I hope that is so far from where we started yesterday to where we are today. I hope you have everything you need to make yourself a football cake to start with. We'll be back tomorrow where we will cover this cake in fondant, and then we will move on to covering the cake in the patterns of the hexagon and pentagon. So do join us back tomorrow. We're not leaving yet. It's 2:30. I've got 10 to 15 minutes before we sign off from our dealings today. So if you're just joining us and it's your first time, first of all, welcome. Okay, great to have you. Great for joining us. If you don't know me, I am a random lady on this part of the internet who just loves cake. I love cake. I love cake. Have I told you that lately? Okay, I love cake. Okay. And over here, I make simple, informative tutorials to help you navigate cake decorating, baking. If I'm not here doing the most about live tutorials, I am over there on long form content doing baking sessions and all sorts. So join us. And if I'm not doing any of that, I'm probably in the community post posting funny videos about cake, behind the scenes stuff, to keep you all entertained. Okay, so if you're just joining us, Jana, it's your first time joining us, Jana, welcome. Oh, okay, so there is, oh God, there is Jana Harden, there is okay, is it, okay, so there are two Janas. Okay, that's Jana Harden and Jana Trahan. Oh, you make cheesecakes. First time you're seeing us. Jana, where are you joining us from? For the first timers, put a wave emoji up and let us know where you're joining us from, because we are all over different parts of the world, from Malaysia to India to Oregon, okay, to Essex. We're all here, okay? It's great fun. There is a Scottish woman over there. Cocktail, I see you, okay? So all of you in the chat who are joining, Louisiana, my American people, good morning, okay? I know it's morning. Have you had coffee yet, Jana? And cheesecake. You know what? When you, my people, come here and tell me about your American cheesecake, I get mad. Because in the UK, we can't get the block-style the block-style soft cheese that is used for cheesecake. We are lumped with the ever-annoying but super creamy Philadelphia cheese. It's not the same, is it? The Philadelphia cheese in a pot, it's not the same. So yeah, I'm probably going to say the thing that is so embarrassing, but I'll say it nonetheless. The best cheesecake I ever had was from Sainsbury's. Sainsbury's, where I used to live, Sainsbury's used to have a bakery session, like fresh bakery stuff, and they had a part where you will go and there's selection of cheesecakes, and there was always a New York style cheesecake, like the baked cheesecake, and there was a mango flavored New York. Oh God, that stuff was so good. And ever since, I never looked at cheesecake the same again. And when I see American content creators making all your cheesecakes, I want to eat a cheesecake. But I know it's not the same when you make it with Philadelphia cheese. But you know what? The cheesecake frosting I made for the red velvet cake, the one cocktail you were looking at yesterday, that cheesecake frosting is amazing. So you know what? Jana, save me some cheesecake, okay? Better still post it down here, okay? That said, welcome to the chat. Great to have you. Yeah, we don't have blocks of Nick Hale. Let's say Nick. Nick, Thank you. Thank you. Great to have you. Nick, are you joining us from Jamaica then? Sunshine and rain and beaches and coconut water. Love. Okay. Welcome to being here. Cocktail. Yeah, look. Tapita, lollipop, cocktail. Welcome the newbies here. Make them happy. Keep them warm. Welcome, entertain. That's your job, okay? But yeah, if you're just joining us for the first time, thank you. It's exciting to have you here. And yes, I know I do a lot of that. It will not seem like we're doing anything, but we bake, okay? We bake. I literally spent the entire time. Maria, love you too, honey. Love you so much for being here, taking time out of your day to stop by and just say love you back to you, darling. Thank you. Thank you so much. And who is Dora? Who is Dora? Dora the Adventurer. I am Dora the Adventurer. Who is Dora? Hi there. My first time here. Where are you from? You know what, Dora? We talk about who I am. Okay, I am Ghanaian. I come from Ghana. It's a West African country on the western side of the African map, if you see it. So I am Ghanaian, but I live in the UK. I live in the UK. I've lived here for almost 2 decades. So can I say I am British Ghanaian? I don't know, but I'm Ghanaian. I'm Ghanaian because I grew up in Ghana long before I came to England. So yes, I am a Ghanaian resident in the UK, right? I know that's a question I get a lot, but yes, I don't mind at all if you ask. No, that's okay. That's okay. Dora. Who is Dora? Dora, I don't mind at all. Over here, we talk about anything. You know what? I'm sure if you thought you were asking a disrespectful question, you would know and you'll probably not ask. So no, happy to answer you. And I've just told you I am Ghanaian. Yes. So, but for the rest of you, Nick, Jana, and everybody here, thank you. Like I said, it sounds like we do this a lot. You know what, Dora? I will not be one to know about the flags, okay? If it's not looking like Ghanaian or Nigerian flag, I couldn't tell you. So put the name of the country in there for me so we know where you are joining us from. But otherwise, welcome to the chat. Whilst Cameron, oh, is it Carmen? Carmen, they're not my eyelashes, you know. Carmen, if you saw a black girl with these lashes, they're not hers. They're not hers. They're not hers. But thanks for the compliments, okay? Love them. Love them. You know, it's a little addition here just for you. I do this for you. I don't wake up like this, you know. Oh, Romania. Kefaj. Who's Dora? Dora Kefaj. And I expect you would say Bine, right? I understand the word of Romanian, okay? Oh, Nico. Like, oh, Nick. Am I? You know what? I am so precious. Nick, ignore me, okay? Oh, see? Dora Kefat, she says Bina. You know, I know a word of Romanian. Look. Look, all of you first people here, you're just seeing a bit of personality. I don't wake up like this, okay? If you've seen my vlogs, go have a look. Come on, I will send you over there. You will see that this takes effort. This right here. Okay? This right here takes effort. Okay? So if you listen, the only thing I want to grow is in wisdom, cocktail. Anything else, I will cheat my way through it. Okay? I don't want to grow my eyelashes. I don't. Okay? Why bother when you can just fix it up and be like, peace? Okay? But no, the only thing I want to grow is in. Thank you. For those of you who love the person, it's for you, okay? Much of the time, I'm a grump. imagine me being grumpy. Well, you want to ask my 7-year-old son who thinks I am such a taskmaster. I am too strict. I'm taking all his fun. And if he could choose, I'm not his mama. Okay, that's this. But this is a job, okay? So I have to, I mean, you have to go to work looking your best, isn't it? And I have the best job over here. I show up here just to come and give a bit of fun whilst also making cake. So I know not everyone does the cake thing, but all of you who are just joining me for the first time, great to have you. Look, the most important part is gone. We're just catching up. And yesterday, we managed to make a detour from cake land into pop culture land, where we caught up on our friend Meghan Markle. Who has heard that name before? Meghan Markle. If you know who Meghan Markle, apparently she isn't Meghan Markle anymore. She's Meghan Sussex. Okay, so yes, we made a detour there. But has someone checked on her today? How is she? Especially after that global pounding and taking her program apart. Sad. Sending sister hugs, but I don't think sister would even want to hug me, but that's just by the way. And have we checked on Blake Lively too? Hello. Okay, just saying, all those people need checking and canceling too. The only thing I canceled is my Netflix subscription. I can't pay $12.99 for what? The mess? No, hell no. Okay, that is just by the way. Well, Tabitha, the producer gets the grumpy look. That little producer thinks I am so grumpy. But isn't that all good, mamas? Look, if you have to be sweet and then be like, no, okay? You have to almost play the angel and the devil at the same time. And the kid loves the angel, but the part that's like, no, homework first before, you know, the phone. He's like, no, but why can't I have fun? It's like, look, life is not eternally fun. If I did that, the world will have a crisis of a bugger out here with no boundaries. Okay? But that's just by the way. I am here at my job, so we have to look after each other. Okay? Thank you. Oh, look, you have not, the sort of unlearning that I am still going through as an African, a Ghanaian, to be a parent to a child who does not understand my cultural upbringing. It's a whole challenge that we can unpack, okay? Trying to be a parent to a child in a different culture, in a different environment, who has completely different experiences to me, and yet trying to instill in him the values of discipline. Oh God, it's a lot, right? Because my Ghanaian parent lived for upsetting you all the time with no F's given, okay? And who are you going to call? Hello, welcome to social services, where a country where none exists. Okay, my parents lived for upsetting me. No F's given. But here I am. I turned up okay, didn't I? Cocktail, you're leaving. Well, darling, look after yourself, and I will see you back here tomorrow. But that said, we were supposed to have finished by now, people. So for all you new people who are just joining in, a recap of what we did today. Yesterday on our tutorial, we started the process of making a football cake. So yesterday we filled the spheres. I talked you through everything you need to know. And today we were back to create the sphere. And just in case you haven't seen it, this is the sphere we made today. So outside of the talking and the noise, this is what we did today. We achieved a perfectly looking sphere here, which we will leave now to set completely. And then we will be back tomorrow to cover this sphere over and then do the pentagon and hexagons. A few details that we caught up with concerning the pentagons and hexagons are that the pentagons and hexagons that are used, The patterns that are used on a football cakes are not random. They are formulated through a mathematical equation, which then creates a ratio of 12 pentagons to 20 hexagons. That's a little detail that if you just wanted to make cake, you wouldn't care about. But if you're a beginner who is trying to make yourself a football cake, this information is just important so that you can get the best out of it. Because if you do not understand how the hexagons and pentagons work together, then your football is going to be out of shape and you won't get the exact results you want. That said, we discussed in detail in the previous video how to avoid some of the problems going into making a football cake. And today we've been able to put the cake together. We have a great looking sphere here. Tomorrow, God willing, when we come back, we'll be able to cover this cake in fondant and then get on to the hexagon and pentagon patterns. My hope is that by the end of this tutorial, from start to finish, you will be informed and empowered with useful, relatable, and achievable practices throughout this process, so you can be able to make your own football cake at home. But if you don't care about football, addressing my American audience here, what time should I be present tomorrow? Nick, tomorrow we're here between 1 and 2. So give or take 1:30, we will hopefully be here tomorrow. Okay, Nick? So yes, so that is the football cake. But you know what, Nick? Check back in, because even if YouTube doesn't notify you about our presence here, because YouTube does that to me sometimes, it doesn't notify the subscribers. And right, big producer just told me he wasn't notified. Sir, you were supposed to be working. Okay,
yeah, but I checked on my way out of work. I checked to see if you were live and I didn't have a notification, so I had to literally search for your channel to look if you were live.
Right, you see, YouTube is not treating me right out here in these streets. So if you, a good way to kind of know what's happening is join, subscribe to the channel. It's free. We don't have membership yet or anything, so it's free to join the channel. But check in the community post. The community post is where I drop like information about what's happening. So today, for instance, I left a post there, a simple post about cake, but if you read down, you would see I signed off. I will see you soon, almost confirming that I'll be back here. So we've been able to achieve this whilst also staying engaged, interacting, and connecting with each other. It's the little pieces of these that makes this life special. I could easily go and film a long form video for you to watch, but that lacks connection, right? But being here and being on the live with you is fun. Helps us to learn something whilst also learning to engage and interact with each other. So with that said, it's great to have you. For all of you who have been here for the first time, welcome to the happy bunch here. We are such fun, even if I say so myself. And I am not the only one who brings the fun, you know. Pt2 brings much of the fun. Lollipop brings much of the fun. Prawn Cocktail, Delaney, and now all of you who have just joined in, from Jana to Nick and all of you in the chat. Thank you. Stay connected with each other. I'll be back on my next video talking more cakes. And by the way, if you don't care about football cake, yes, I'll be gone in a minute. By the way, I'll be gone. Don't worry. You don't have to put up with me any longer. But if you don't care about football cake, look, I don't just decorate cakes. I love cakes. The science of baking excites me. So you can take it from something simple, which is a vanilla cake. Look back at the long form content and there's much there. And then if you move on to, say, we have a burger cake. This is for the purposes of those who are just joining. I'm just showing off, okay? This is a burger cake we made right here. The details are on the live for you to see. And by the way, if you didn't care for a burger cake and you wanted a floral cake for a loved one, that is another cake you can have, okay? All of that are left right here on the live formats, start to finish. It can be drearily boring. You have to sit through it. But it also means you're in class and class is boring, okay? So have fun. Go check those out. Join the community here. Have fun. And let me see who I just missed over there. Oh, Cinnamon. Cinnamon, you're late to the party because we're finishing up. Welcome and great to have you today. I hope you're well though, Cinnamon. But otherwise, look at you. Show the flower pot. Pt2, you are making me look like a peacock. Look at me. That's the flower pot. This flower pot has been sitting here for nearly, I think, is it 3 weeks now or 2 weeks? There we are. That's a flower pot, right? It's a weathered flower pot, by the way. Okay? So check that out. And yeah, Lollipop going off for the school run. The rest of you all in the chat. Okay, yeah. Cocktail. You know what, Cocktail? Let me tell you, I hate commitment. Okay, I want to run. So yeah, I could do the scheduled live, but I think in all honesty, I don't know how to do that. I don't know, because I know I'll have a look at it and then you can kind of join in advance. That said, let's sign off today. Much love. Great to have you. I will be back tomorrow and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.